Hello world, I'm Wilson. I'm going to teach you how to make easy homemade alcohol. This first video I'm going to go into what ingredients you need to make a very simple, easy homemade alcohol. And then I'm going to go into what happens with your ingredients when you mix them together and how alcohol is produced. From there you can watch other videos and get more in-depth training into the different aspects of where you can take alcohol, from brandy to corn whiskey to wine and champagne to liqueurs. I'm going to try to cover as much information as I have to teach you what I know. Now, everything I've learned has been passed down through generations to where I'm at now, plus what I've researched myself. So anything that I teach you, you need to make sure you take your own time and go research it, double check, to make sure you feel comfortable with all the information. Don't take anything I say as fact. Don't take anything anybody says as fact. Always do your own research. Make sure you feel comfortable with what's going on. The three ingredients that you're going to need are yeast, sugar, and water. That's all you need to make alcohol. Yeast can be any kind of yeast. It can be baker's yeast or sourdough yeast you might have at your house. One of those two. If you don't have any yeast, you can go to Walmart or Safeway or whatever you live next to and get some. But you can also go to a brew shop or go online to a brew shop and buy distiller's yeast, brewer's yeast, champagne yeast, wine yeast, any kind of yeast. They have thousands of different kinds of yeast. But for the first couple of videos, all I'm going to be using is a baker's yeast. Just a simple baker's yeast that most of you guys will have at your house. Sugar can be cane sugar, it can be a pure cane sugar, it can be a brown sugar, it can be a molasses, a honey, agave, or even simple table sugar. And I will be using table sugar for the first couple of videos because it's something most people will have at their house. Now water, the only thing with water is if you don't mind drinking it, I don't mind you using it. It doesn't matter if it's bottled water, natural water, spirit water, distilled water, spring water, well water. As long as you feel comfortable drinking it, then you can use it for alcohol. So those are your three basic ingredients. Once you take those three basic ingredients and you mix them together, next you're going to get your yeast monster. Yeast is your number one player in this game because your yeast eats your sugar and relieves himself of alcohol and CO2. Now, alcohol is what we're looking for, so the better yeast you have and the better sugar you have, the better quality alcohol you're going to get. CO2 is a byproduct that we will manage, but it's not a necessary product or necessary part that we're going to use. So that's pretty much basic, simple what's going to happen with what we're going to use. Yeast is going to eat the sugar, and the byproduct is going to be alcohol and CO2. What we're going to do with those three ingredients, we're going to take the baker's yeast, we're going to put a tablespoon of that into a glass with a little bit of sugar and water, around 100-degree water. Good way to know what temperature it is bath water. Hot bath water is going to be closer to 150 or 105, 110. So you want to do just under bath water. I mean, anywhere from 70 to 100 is going to be fine. But you don't want to go too hot, because too hot you'll kill your yeast. Next, you need 5 cups of sugar. You need 1 gallon of water. Now, this 1 gallon of water, you're only going to want to put half a gallon in it. And you're going to make it lukewarm water to hot water. You're going to add your sugar into your water, your half gallon of water. That way, your hot water will help dissolve the sugar. And then you fill it up with cold water, and that evens out the temperature. You want to keep your temperature around a 70 to a 90 degrees for fermentation. Then you take your sugar, yeast, water concoction you have over here, add it in last. After that, put the lid on it. But don't put the lid on very tight because it's going to release that CO2. You want that CO2 to get out. So you just set the lid on there, maybe turn it half a turn, just so it bleeds that CO2 off. Give it 7 to 14 days, and you'll have alcohol anywhere from a 4 anywhere from a 3 to a 14% alcohol you'll have in your liquid. All it is called sugar wine, is what it's called. So you need to take your sugar, your yeast, and your water, mix them together, and wait, you're going to have it. While this is fermenting for the 7 to 14 days, you want to leave this in an area like inside your house, in your closet somewhere, or in a garage, as long as the temperature doesn't drop below 60 degrees, it doesn't get above 100 degrees. Over 100, you're going to kill your yeast. Under 60 degrees, it's going to get so cold that your yeast aren't going to have any activity, so it's not going to release any carbon dioxide or make any alcohol. And then 7 to 14 days is just a base. I'm assuming you have nothing at your house when you're doing this except for a gallon jug and a couple of simple ingredients. If you do that, you can have a gallon of sugar wine that's anywhere from 4 to 14% alcohol. It's very easy and very simple. If you watch the next video, I'm going to actually do it and show you what it looks like and how it all works out. So please, watch more videos and subscribe. I'm Wilson with Easy Homemade Alcohol. Leave comments below if you want. Thanks.